Welcome to my over-the-road trucking adventure. If you're new here, my name is Rick, and along with Trucker Kitty, I haul freight all across the lower 48 states. In my videos, I share some of what it's like to be an over-the-road truck driver. One of the things that I really enjoy sharing in my videos is the awesome scenery all across this country. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be an over-the-road truck driver, hop in, buckle up, and enjoy the ride. In today's video, I'm going to talk about an issue the drivers sometimes have to deal with at a shipper. The preloaded trailer isn't ready, or the shipper is way behind and they're not ready to load your trailer yet. This problem can cause you to miss out on a load, or in today's case, it can throw your whole schedule off, especially when the weather adds to your troubles, as you'll see later in today's journey. At the end of today's journey, I'll answer a question about elog and hours of service restrictions, so stay tuned to the end for that.
Good afternoon from Hesperia, California. Let me catch you up. I spent 8 days at home, which was nice. Longer than I expected, but I couldn't find any loads. Anyway, got out of the house yesterday afternoon. Deadheaded down to Redlands, California, 238 miles to get a load. That's what I had to do. There just weren't any, there were virtually almost no loads out of Las Vegas and nothing that worked. So I pulled the trigger on deadheading down here, got a load that was supposed to be ready at 8 p.m. yesterday. So I left Las Vegas about 4 yesterday afternoon. That gave me 4 hours to get down here. So, I got the bobtail down, which was nice. Got great fuel economy. Went to a place near Redlands to hook a trailer. That was interesting. Just a place I'd never been to before. It's weird. Anyway, get down there, hook an empty trailer, drive over to my pickup. Remember I said it's supposed to be ready at 8 o'clock. Drop and hook. I got there 9:45. No, it was after that. Anyway, wasn't ready. They weren't done loading it. My 8 o'clock preloaded trailer in fact it was 11 o'clock by the time I got in to check in, still wasn't ready. I sat there for another 2.5 hours waiting for it to be done and get my paperwork. Unreal. So 1:30, I rolled out of there finally around 1:30, and I drove up the hill. I don't know how far we came, 40 miles, not even 40 miles, to Hesperia. You know, I've stopped here so many times, so if you've been a regular follower of my videos, you know this is one of my favorite places to stop when I'm in the area. So, didn't make it very far. And here, I got here like after 3 a.m. this morning. That's why it's already afternoon. So, gonna get rolling. Alright, let us get out of here. Every other time that I've recorded video of leaving here, every time so far, we've headed west on Main Street and continued on to US Highway 395. Not today. Although we are going to head west on Main Street, because that's what this is right up here, Main Street. Once we get on Main Street here, we're going to turn right onto the interstate and head north. 70. Back through Vegas. I suspect it'll be dark by the time we get to Vegas. So we're going to miss a lot of good scenery thanks to those guys not having that load ready. And that's what happens sometimes in the trucking world. You know, it's just stuff happens. You got no control over it. No one did it on purpose. It's just stuff happens. They got behind schedule, the guy told me. They were scrambling to get all their loads loaded. Plus, there was a guy, when I got there was a guy who had already been there and picked up his load and had to come back after going to the scale. He wasn't over gross on his weight. He was had too much weight in the tail over the trailer tandems. And as I have mentioned before, California limits how far you can move the trailer tandems back. So, he had to come back and get reworked. Well, I think he told me he was there like an hour and a half to get reworked. So, that was another factor. They were dropping everything else to get him done. Well, maybe not everything else, but you know, my stuff wasn't getting done because they were taking care of fixing their mistake on his load. So, anyway, that's how this sometimes happens out here. Messes with your plans. This is the, we're just about to Barstow. And this exit here is where all the truck stops are that I'm familiar with. We've got, on the left, we've got a TA, a Pilot, and a Loves. And on the right, we've got a Flying J, as well as a Blue Beacon truck wash. Plus various food venues. And it is really windy today. I forgot to mention that earlier. I was fighting with the wind out of the south. Then it seemed to shift out of the east. And now it's coming out of the west. And it's pretty strong. It's blowing up all this dust. Doesn't look too bad here, but earlier it looked pretty bad. Off to the left, you probably can't see that, but off to the left, it's really dusty. We're also about 4.5 miles from the turnoff for the Interstate 40. And that's where Interstate 40 begins in the west. All the way to the far end of North Carolina. Long way. Anyway, this exit here is the eastern end of California Highway 58, which we spent a bunch of time on recently. That goes to Bakersfield. Between Barstow and Las Vegas. We've still got about 100 miles to go. scenic. I mean, you know, I think it's scenic anyway, with these, you know, the mountains and stuff. Even though I would prefer that they had trees, since I grew up around evergreen trees. I still think it's scenic. Just miles and miles of mountainous terrain. Another thing I like about this run, this stretch of road, is that you can just see for miles and miles, all directions, well, not all directions, but whatever direction happens to be way out there. Looks like there's some water out there. I can see for miles and miles. I just can't sing. Still windy. We are just passing Baker out here in the middle of nowhere. And looking ahead, looks like we've got some rain up ahead. Interesting. Yeah, looks like it might get ugly up there. Rain in the desert. Who'd have thunk it? We have driven through the area that I looked ahead and thought it was raining, and it's not raining. It has not rained. The ground's not wet here, so it just must have been dust. It's still windy as heck. Kicking up quite the dust storm. So I guess that's what it was. I just figured since there was all these dark clouds and that darkness below them, I figured it was rain. Guess not. Anyway, this is one of the major hills we gotta climb. Been climbing it for a while now. Not making very good time doing it. Got a heavy load, so it is what it is. Getting dark. It's 4:30 now. We are maybe 25 miles from Nevada. Yeah. Trying to figure out where I'm going to stop and take a break. I don't think I'm going to stop in Primm. I think I want to get on through, get past Las Vegas. We're about an hour from that, so that puts us there at 5:30. Do I really want to do that? Wow. I really don't. Maybe I should stop in Primm. Oh well, I'll figure it out later. Wow, we finally just crested that hill. Now we've got a downslope, and then we got to climb another one on the other side of the valley. Yep, a whole lot of this on this route. But I think this next one may be the last hard one. There's another, and this will, once we crest this next one, there's a downslope on the other side to another valley, and then you start to climb a little bit, and then you hit the Nevada state line, and then it levels out some more. just crossed into Nevada, and almost right away, well, just before even we crossed it, visibility just dropped to less than 50 yards, is my estimate. This wind is something. It is just blowing up a dust storm. It's pretty bad. Anyway, we're in Primm. I am stopping because it's only a little after 5. If I go on, it's going to be 5:40 by the time I hit Las Vegas. You know, 5:35, 5:40. Still going to be dealing with rush hour traffic. I just don't want to deal with that. And I need coffee. My other GoPro cameras, I don't know if the battery's dead or what. It just started. Tried to turn it on before we hit this stuff, and it was acting up. So I don't have any footage of that. Oh, jeez. Green light. At red light, red arrows. That's what threw me off. Thought I was running a red light there. Crazy. Anyway, we'll take a 30-minute break here. Still have 340 miles to go to get to my target today. That's going to be well after midnight. Yay. So this is the Flying J in Primm at Whiskey Pete's.
700 feet.
Man, they got some
turn if possible.
fuel islands close.
In 700 feet, make a U-turn if possible.
That's weird. Finally ran into rain in the, well, I guess it was just south, or just out of the other side of Mesquite. And now, just stopped to take a short break and clean my mirrors in St. George, Utah. And when I got here, it was sleeting. I guess it's still sleeting, but it's at least as much snow as anything else. Anyway, that's not good. It means I'm gonna have to. Well, I already had to slow down. It means I'm gonna have to continue to slow down. I take my vitamins because I hadn't yet today. Oh. Not thinking I was going to run into snow until tomorrow. And I don't know if I am tomorrow or not, but man, I do not want to deal with snow going over the Rocky Mountains. We got to climb up to 11,000 feet tomorrow at the, whatever the summit is called. Anyway, I'm going to pull out of here in just a minute. I already had the sniffles, and when I was inside waiting in line at the cash register, because I had to get some milk, whoever that gal was that was behind me was constantly coughing and like the deep down in your lungs. It's like breathing all over me, it felt like. I'm wondering how many other people are like that right now. Anyway, whatever. Time to get going. Let's get out of here. Alright, we're done for the day. Didn't even make it to the Flying J that I wanted to make at Richfield. I can't go anymore. It's been snowing since St. George, and now we're climbing, and I got to a point where it was so steep, the road was so steep that I almost got stuck in the road because I couldn't go. My tires just were spinning, even with the differentials locked in and in low gear, it was not wanting to go. So, but I made it to the crest, and right after that, there's this exit. So, we're parked on the off-ramp, as far off the pavement, not off the pavement, but as far out of the way of any traffic as I can get. And I'm leaving my lights on so people can see that I'm here. But it's crazy. If it gets any worse, I'll have to put chains on in the morning. In fact, if I was going to continue on, well, I guess I could have made it since I crested the hill. I probably could have made it fine. But I thought I was going to have to stop in the middle of the road and put chains on right where I was. It was that slick. So anyway, I'm tired. It's been a long day. I have covered. I'm actually 40 miles short of where I wanted to get. I think that's how far it is. Maybe 50. Yeah, 50. So that's just going to have to work. And if this weather's any indicator, I'm probably not going to make this delivery tomorrow night. I'm just not making good time in these conditions. So if I have to chain up, it just ain't happening. I mean, I'll chain up, but I'm not going to get to make the delivery. I have to have it there before midnight. So, but I'm going to call in the morning, let Green Bay know that this probably isn't going to make it in on time, and that it'll have to be the next morning, because I'll get as far as I can get, and that's it. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I'm just doing another 10-hour break like I did yesterday, so I can get rolling, try to make it, with minimal downtime. But anyway, I'm just rambling now because I'm tired. So we'll pick this up in the morning and see what it looks like. Hopefully there's not too much more snow. We'll see.
As you saw in today's video, you can start your driving day in sunny, short sleeve weather, encounter a dust storm, and then end the day in near blizzard conditions. Wait until you see what the morning brings. If you want to see that, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video goes live. Also, be sure to like this video and leave a comment down in the comments area below if you have any questions or comments. Now on to the elogs and hours of service question from FJ Bill. How hard was it to adjust to the new elog system? I never had to adjust to elogs. I've used them since the beginning of my driving career in 2011. I did have to learn how to use paper logs for backup purposes, but I prefer the elogs. I hate paperwork. Does it limit your money-making potential by preventing 12 to 14-hour days? Is 10 hours enough? First, I'll explain a little bit about the hours of service rules. The maximum duty day can be up to 14 hours, of which 11 hours can be spent driving. The duty day includes performing the pre-trip inspection, driving, fueling, checking in at the shipper and receiver, and of course the post-trip inspection at the end of the day. You must also fit in 30 minutes of off-duty time within the first 8 hours of driving. After all of that, you must take a minimum of 10 hours of off-duty time, including preferably 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I believe, with few exceptions, this is ample time to accomplish my driving goals during the day. My typical day's goal is to drive no more than 9 hours, with a total duty day of no more than 12 hours. It doesn't always work out that way, but since I drive 7 days a week for several weeks at a time, I really have to pace myself. Could I drive more miles and make more money? Yes, but at what cost? When I first started booking my own loads, I overdrove myself and was lucky not to have an accident. That's it for today. Remember, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos from my over-the-road trucking adventure.
Hello? Hello?
My typical day's goal is to drive no more than 9 hours with a total That's all, folks.